Good evening, welcome to Herman University. We have a special call-in guest, and to me it's a tremendous honor actually. This is April Larson. And she's on the line waiting patiently. And we're a little early, but we're going to open up the chat. I see Apple Investor in there, but we're going to record this show and keep this in our archives. I actually met this young lady at the Super Billiard Expo and got to see her play and was very impressed, and having her tell us herself about the event. I'm just dying to talk to her about it. Well, Mrs. April Larson, welcome to Herman University.
Thank you.
We never lose here, we always learn, and I think that you certainly learned a lot down at that Super Billiard Expo.
Oh, yes, I did.
Well, you know, I watched the match, all the matches that I could with you, with Dawn, of course, who I know a very, very long time. She's from this area. And for her, it was an unbelievable honor for her to win her first pro event. And to you know, finally hit that, that high echelon and be able to carry that trophy home. Having said that, she had to beat you twice to do it.
Yep.
You know, April, a lot of people on my show may or may not know you, so can you give us an idea of who April Larson is, where you're from, and let's start with that. Where are you from? Now, Bloomington, Minnesota. Where are you playing pool in Bloomington, Minnesota?
There's a pool hall in Burnsville, which is like 15 minutes away from here, called Shooters, and that's my home pool hall that I play out of.
Interesting. Now, what players are out of that room?
Well, Bo Runnigan used to play out of there a little bit, but then he moved to, I think it was California or Florida, I can't remember, but yeah, not many pro players live around this area, but there's a lot of really good locals that I practice with.
Now, when you mentioned Bo Runnigan, of course, he's in California, and I'm wondering now, did you get to play with him at all?
I met him once. I played like a challenge match at his going away party, but other than that, no, he moved before I really got into it.
So how did you get introduced to pool?
Well, my dad was on a pool league at home, and I wanted to go with one day, and because it was with family, it was all family, so I just joined one day and loved seeing the family, and then I got a pool table, and it just kind of clicked. It was one of those things where, you know, you never saw it coming, but it happened for the best, so.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't know if your parents were at Philadelphia. Were they at the Super Billiard Expo?
My dad was.
Was he sitting in the stands?
Yep.
I believe I saw him. I wish that I had gone up to him. So I got to tell you, a lot of things that got my attention watching you play. I had first heard of you from the American Billiard radio show.
Oh.
Otherwise, I would have never known anything about you at all. And I was impressed what I heard, and that's when I kind of contacted you on Facebook, actually.
Okay.
And during that time, I had no idea really that you played as well as you do.
Thank you.
I just thought that you played with. I just really enjoyed watching you play. Your disposition, your demeanor. I'm sure it came from your parents because you were just terrific in my eyes to watch, and to have seen you win those matches also was was quite amazing actually, because those girls that you were playing had a lot of experience over you in playing in events.
Well, thank you very much. That means a lot to me.
So I was wondering, you know, there was one thing that came up in that tournament that um, I really liked what I saw on this, and I'm going to tell you about the situation. I'm sure you're going to remember it. You were playing Dawn, you were shooting over a ball, and she called a foul on you, and I happened to watch the shot as well. And I don't believe you fouled on that shot, but that's not really where I'm going with this. I remember that she called in the referee. The referee came in and you were talking. And he said that it was a foul. Did you think it was a foul, by the way?
Well, he had told us that previous, but I thought it was like if you stroked it with your cue, or I don't really know, but in my opinion, honestly, I didn't think it should have been, but by the rules, I think it was. So Don was in the right in that situation, I think. But
Well, I get, you know, I wasn't really going there. I was just curious, but where I was going was how you handled that situation.
oh, thank you.
I mean, I was just in awe of that. I mean, once he said it was a foul, you went, okay, and then you went right to your seat and you went right back to work. You know, to me, that was so impressive, April. I just, you know, I really enjoyed that.
Thank you very much. Since I was a little girl, my parents told me, you always do what's right, otherwise what you're doing is not worth it. If you're not playing pool the right way or the way it's supposed to be played and not fairly, then don't play. So,
Well, gee, I got to tell you, it's quite an honor representing the USA, and I had that honor in 1993 to play on the World Championship team for the men. And in 1993, I also was training a young player named Mike Ranella. And Mike Ranella ended up representing the USA in the juniors in the World Championship, and we ended up both going to Germany together. And I noticed that you just got an invite to represent America. What about that?
what?
What about it? Tell us about it.
Well, this new event was just added this year. It's going to be the first event of this, tournament. It's basically a junior Moscone Cup, but it's called the Atlantic Challenge Cup. And I don't know. I think it'll be pretty much same rules and everything. It's been the same so far that I've heard. And I don't know. It's a huge honor for me to even be thought about being on the team. So all I know is I'm going to try my absolute hardest, like I try to do every tournament, and just see what happens. Looking forward to playing with all my friends out there and meeting new friends from Europe, I guess.
Now, where is that going to be held?
It's in Austria.
Austria. I mean, that's got to be unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm pretty in shock.
So you're going to see Jasmine and her brother probably.
I don't think so because it's 18 and under is the age limit.
Yeah, but they might come visit.
Oh, yeah, maybe. That would be absolutely, I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh, that would be
Yeah, I would expect that actually out of them. But that's going to be quite interesting. So, is this the first time for you to be going overseas and getting your passport and going through all that?
Um, no, I've actually been overseas for the Junior World Championships 3 times.
And where were they held?
The first one was in Germany, second one was South Africa, and the third one was Shanghai, China.
Wow, that's incredible.
Thank you.
I mean, that's really incredible. Now, I also noticed that you were using a peach hour. Am I wrong? I don't know what. I'm pretty sure you were, anyhow.
Yep, I'm sponsored by them right now. So,
Interesting. And do you have a case sponsor?
case?
Yep.
No, I don't, as of right now.
Well, you should, and I think you'll get one for sure.
Thank you.
Probably it'd be a great idea for a case company, that's for sure. I can't think of a better representative as well. And how old are you now?
I'm 15, just turned 15.
And how is school going?
School's going really good. I mean, for the amount of school that I missed, my teachers are pretty cool about letting me leave, so they'll make it as easy as possible on me to make up my work.
Do you see yourself working with Mark Wilson in the future?
I sure hope so. I mean, my biggest goal really in life is, or in pool, is to maybe be one of the girls sometime to be on the real Moscone Cup. I mean, I know that's very seldom to happen, but hey, why not try to be?
You know, April, I'll tell you something. Pool, you know, I'm one of these guys that thinks out of the box. I want to have a league. I want women to be 50% part of the league. I want seniors to be 20% of the league. I'd like to see every state in the United States have a team represented in a league format. And I got to tell you, I hope that we continue to communicate, because I think that you would be a great representative in helping getting a league started and having outside corporate sponsorship getting interested with people like you in our industry. We need to get you out there, and I think a lot of companies would be attracted to you. And I just hope that in the near future that we do luckily start to develop a league, and it starts to go down to the minor leagues, and we get it into the school systems where I believe it belongs.
Yeah.
And so you're certainly hoping to go to Linwood, I would think.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, knowing Mark, he's hoping you go too.
I don't know. I sure hope so.
Of course he is, yeah. Mark, one thing about him, he's going to notice character, and that is something you definitely have. Tremendous character. And you know, I was impressed the way that you were playing intellectually as well. I liked the way you used your warm-up strokes. I thought your technique was good. I thought your pace was excellent. I thought you managed your game excellently by choosing defensive moves maybe on some shots that others may have chose something else. Who's helping you with that? Is that your dad?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I've had a couple people here and there that really help my game, but my dad, for the most part, helps me out.
When I say warm-up strokes, you know what I'm talking about, right? Before the shot.
Yep.
Do you have that? Do you have a pace that you kind of like to have, or is that something that it's just feel and you just go with it?
You know, people told me I should probably have like a certain pace and the same quick shot routine before every single shot, but for me, I kind of know what works for different shots, like using different, I don't want to say a different stroke, but different mind set for different shots. So it's more of just
I love that. You know, that's so important to be able to manage your game, know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and be able to manage accordingly. I really like that, April.
Thank you very much.
Um, I gotta say, you know, to finish, I believe you were seventh, eighth in that tournament,
Yeah.
in your first pro event. I gotta say that, you know, that's a high credential. I don't care if it was the strongest field in the world or the weakest field in the world. I believe that that entry fee makes that a very high qualifying event. I believe the entry fee was 300.
Yes, 300.
Yeah, see, that's steep. You know, I think 300. You look at any of the men's divisions, and you really see an event for over 300. You know, you really see an event for $300.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a pretty heavy. You know, that's a pretty heavy ticket. That says pro, and that's heavy credentials right there. That's credentials in my eyes to accomplish what you accomplished. It's like getting a degree because it kind of tells you how educated you are at what point you are. Now, when you played Dawn, I think where you got beat there, if you were to say that you got beat, I mean, it was her time, number one, but it looked like she was really tightening up defensively against you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Definitely played more defensive than I did, which is what you got to do sometimes.
yeah, as you came out of that match, you know, at Herman University, it's just an educational show about pool and billiards. We never lose here because we always come out learning. And I'm wondering about when you came out of that match, what were you saying to yourself that you have to do next time that you play her? What do you have to improve on?
What I have to improve on is probably my mindset about the person. Like I'm still working on. It doesn't matter who the person is. Just shoot your game. And I think the fact that first of all, she beat me the first time. May have gotten me down a little bit. And second of all, I think just the fact that her credentials are so amazing, and I couldn't even, like 2 years ago or 3 or 4 years ago when I first met her, I always dreamed about even being able to play her, and just it was a dream of mine to be where she was. So the fact that I was playing her may have got to me a little bit, and so I think what I learned most of all is to just, no matter who the person is, you don't have to impress anybody, you don't have to change your game for anybody, just play your game, and it'll work itself out in the end. So that was what I learned.
Oh, I love that, April. I agree.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. NJ Pool player in chat, he's from New Jersey. I met Troy as well for the first time down at the Super Billiard Expo. He says, how old is this person? She's pretty intuitive for a young player. Approaching shots that way, she explained. Sounds like an old pro.
Thank you.
Well, I got to tell you, he's absolutely right. I really like your education of the game, the presentation, how you present the game. I love the way you looked, just the way your demeanor, your disposition. All of those things to me were extremely high value, and we're very fortunate to have you in the industry. I promised to only keep you for a half an hour, so I only got 15 minutes left with you.
Oh, gosh.
And I wanted to know, did you know Jimmy Wetch at all?
I do, yeah.
Now, have you met him and played with him?
I met him. He owns Jimmy's, which is only about 20 minutes away from where I live. So I go
Wow. Well, in 1993, Jimmy Wedge was on my team in the World Championship, and he was a young kid. And I remember he was with his girlfriend, and we're sitting at the dinner table. And actually, I was undefeated in the qualifying rounds, and so was Jimmy, I believe. Um,
Impressive.
and Jimmy had not played any pro pool at all, actually, at this time. He was actually, well, if you know him, he was manic depressant. Did you know that?
He was what?
Manic depressant. So he was on heavy medication when I knew him as a young kid.
Oh,
He was manic depressant.
really?
You didn't know that?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a chemical disorder. But anyhow, he says to me, he says, Marty, do you think I should go pro? And he, you know, at the time he was called Jimmy the Kid. He was very young. I don't think he was too young, but 21 maybe.
Okay.
But anyhow, he was asking me because I was a little older, you know, and he was, we were hanging out a little bit. You know, we got to know each other pretty good. And he respected me because I was older. But just a terrific player, a great knowledge, great touch, and somebody that I would highly recommend spending time with playing. And that's, I think, has shown in your game because your game is so good that you would have had to been exposed to somebody like Jimmy.
Well, thank you very much. I've been very blessed and fortunate to have met some of the greatest pool players in the world, in my opinion. And I seriously sometimes sit here and just think, wow, they took their time to say hi to me. Like, I mean, the pro pool players are like my Beyonce, or, I mean, they're celebrities to me. So it's really cool to say that I get to meet them and sometimes play against them, you know?
Well, you know, I introduced you to a guy, Rolly Barron, who's he's in Bali right now, or he would be here on the show. He's somebody that he's got an invite for you to go to the Philippines. If you get there, he picks you up in a limo and takes care of everything for you and your family. So that's something to look forward to down the road, I think, because I got to tell you, pool is going to go somewhere, and we're going to need the Filipino champion boxer Manny Pacquiao to help us get there because, as you know, I sent you the link. Did you see the fight?
Yeah, I did, when I clicked on it, it needed me to subscribe, and my parents didn't really want me to subscribe, so, no, but I heard all about it and followed it wherever I could.
Yeah, well, anyhow, Manny, you know, if you don't know about him, he's, you know, he was a pool player his whole life and a gambler. So, you know, he's going to come back into pool, and we need him to help get us, you know, to help get a league going, really. Because even Mark Wilson today, earlier today, we were talking about exactly this. He said, we need a league, you know, and I believe we do need a league. And I believe, you know, people like you in being in the industry is very important. It's not really the level of play that you have, although that's really an important part, but it's more than that you bring to the plate for us. And, you know, it's really an honor to have you in the sport. So any pro player, you know, I mean, they're going to hear this show. Most of the people that watch my show are really, they're way advanced players. You're not going to find, you know, you're going to have people like Jason Shaw and Scott Frost and all of the Filipino players, the great players, Carlo Beato, and they're all going to know about April Larson, and it's going to be, it's great. It's going to be great to have you on board, trying to help promote this great sport. And with your parents' guidance, you know, I just think that you are could be an ambassador almost in a short time. Now, do you plan on doing something other than pool, or do you plan on kind of branching off? If playing isn't the greatest thing, will you branch off to something in the industry, working with a company in the industry?
You know, honestly, I put thought into it and what I'm gonna do in the future, but you know, so many opportunities have presented themselves where I'm kind of confused on what I'm gonna do later in life again. I mean, I had a pretty good mindset, but now I'm kind of wishy-washy, if you want to say, again. So honestly, my biggest goal right now is to just do what I can to help promote pool, like you said. Like, the game is so fun for me, and it's the best thing for me. So I want it to be the best thing for more people, I guess.
You know, you used the correct word when you put the word fun in there. Okay. Good luck, NJ says to you, young lady. I got to say that fun is the most important goal to always try and reach, because it's so easy to reach that goal if that's the most important goal. And when you go to Austria, please enjoy yourself and make fun a really important goal. And you'll enjoy yourself and you'll play well. You know, if you prepare yourself, you know, prior preparation prevents poor performance. Apple investor who's asking, how do you balance the fun with the process of learning? Can I ask you that, April?
Yeah, you know, I actually had this time, like a year ago, where it just wasn't any fun for me anymore, you know, with, I don't want to say expectations, but with local people thinking like I should do better and things, you know. It doesn't happen much, but I feel like I should do better in a lot of events, so I kind of started losing touch with why I started, which was having fun. So the more fun I had, the more attention I paid to the people that I should be learning from, because I had fun doing that, if that makes sense. Like, I had fun watching people and learning from them.
Yeah, I get that. You know, I'll tell you, you want to keep the passion going. It's all about the learning, because the more that the learning never stops.
Exactly.
So the passion doesn't stop because your passion is to keep learning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Well, I got to tell you, I hope that I get a chance to talk to you again. When are you going to Austria?
Austria takes place July 1st through 4th.
Wow, so that's very soon.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that we can talk and you can tell us your experience when you get back. How's that?
I would be honored to. Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you, April, and thank your parents for letting you come on. I know that it's late, and we really appreciate it, April, and thank you so much for being here at Herman University, where we never lose and always learn.
Yes, I agree with that statement a lot.
Well, Luck of the Roll wants to say that you're his favorite junior player. I have to compliment her parents, such a sweet, down-to-earth young lady. I couldn't agree more with you, Luck of the Roll. And Luck of the Roll is another one. We got some really classy guys in this chat, and they recognize April Larson is certainly special. Good night, April, and thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, it was my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks, April. Bye.
Bye-bye.
April Larson, wow, I got to tell you, I did get to see her play. And Luck of the Roll, I'm glad that you got to see her play. Oh, Pauline, sorry. I should have known. I'm glad that you came, Pauline, and you actually recognized this young lady. I didn't know that you seen her. Where did you see her play? Many times, I'm sure, because you're a female player yourself. But I got to tell you, she is something else, and we need more getting people like her out there to be seen. And boy, you can't help but like. If you don't like April Larson, you don't like anything. That's how I see it. She's really a great gal. Well, thank you so much. I wanted to get her in here. We're going to save this show. We're going to save it so you can come back and listen to her and see what she has to say. And also, you know, we'll... you met her at the expo. Yeah. She was amazing. Well, let's hope we can get her into Linwood as soon as possible. And I'm sure Mark Wilson, I'll send this link to him. Yeah, we want her, she certainly belongs there. I'm sure he knows that. Was some amazing pool played over the weekend. In Greece, we had a new winner. It was a lot of fun watching. Cowboys got beat. Thank you kindly, folks. Good night. I love you all.